So how have you been? Yes, it's me, Mr. NPC Carlson. He is back. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit out of breath from that stupid intro thing. So yeah, it's been what, just over 3 months? Yeah, like literally just over 3 months now, I think, since I uploaded a video on this channel. And some of you have probably been wondering where I've been. Some of you may not have even noticed that I hadn't uploaded a video for 3 months. Because I mean, with everything going on in the world at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if I was a bit neglected. There's three main things I wanted to talk about today. The first thing is the main thing that I've been doing in this 3 month gap, basically. The second thing I wanted to talk briefly about something that occurred this past week that I'm very, very excited about. And the third thing, which is the thing that you guys are probably most looking forward to in this video, is that I am going to reveal what exactly the 50k subspecial is going to be. We haven't actually reached 50,000 subscribers yet, but I'm thinking that by the time I get the video finished, we'll be close to that. I'd like to think. I mean, if if I get the video done and I'm still on like 44,000 subscribers or whatever I'm on now, then it's going to be like, did I say 44 or 44,000? So yeah, the first thing is the main thing that I've been working on these past 3 months, aside from the 50k subspecial. I have done a bit of that, but I kind of had to put that on hold for another project that I have finished now. It's not something that will be uploaded onto this channel. It's something that will be uploaded onto somebody else's channel. If you guys, I don't know if you guys will remember this. Some of you will, some of you may not have even known about it in the first place, but in 2018, 2 years ago, I put together a highlight compilation for this specific speedrunning tournament. It was the International Spyro Grand Prix. Took place 2 years ago, and unfortunately I wasn't able to participate, but I was given permission to put together like a little edited compilation clip thing of like all the races in the tournament, or at least for round one. I didn't do the preceding rounds. I can't remember what came after that, but yeah, because I mean that would just been too much, and round one was the longest one. And yeah, so I put together a little video like that. It was just sort of like taking the best moments of each of the specific races, and like putting a little extra editing flair on top of that, and you know, putting it all together into one big video. And yeah, so I made that, and then people like really liked it. Like the guys over there at, you know, ISGP, you know, Crystal Fisher and Nintendo Gen 64 and all them lot. You know, some of you know who I'm talking about. Some of you probably are thinking, who? They're like, they're all great. I love them all. They're so entertaining, and they're so humble, and it's so nice to like kind of be a part of that in a way. It's really cool. So this year they put together a second one, ISGP 2 or ISGP 2020, and they specifically asked me, can you do another highlight video? And so I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I will. And so yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. It's way better than the first one I did. You know, I haven't, it's weird because it's like, it's a bit of a different experience as it is to creating like something that like was purely made by me. I mean, it's what, you know what I'm trying to say, like a YouTube poop or something like that. I'm taking a source material and I'm shifting that and editing that and warping it into something completely different. Whereas this, I'm just taking it and just sort of like adding a bit of spice, you know, to what already exists. Like I'm not changing it into something else. Like I'm not making the jokes, but I am like making the jokes hit a bit harder in a way, like, you know, just giving it a little extra flair, and then obviously just putting that all together into one long video. So if any of you are interested, you can go over to the channel International Spyro Grand Prix. That's the name of the channel. And I assume it will be up there by the time you see this video. I would think. And if you liked it, then check out the rest of the channel, because it's a lot of fun over there. It's very like, it's not like, they're not like super competitive speedrunners and stuff like that. They're not like super serious. They're like, it's just kind of like for fun most of the time. And it's really entertaining. Like there's just a lot of great characters over there. I say characters, like, I mean they're literally actual people, but they're all so entertaining, and it's really a nice community. You know what? I'm gonna just like pick one of the clips and I'll just play it here, so you can have a reasonable idea of the kind of thing that it's like.
This is your third speedrun of the tournament?
No, I've done this my fourth, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
You alright?
Yeah, fine.
Connor, did one of your family interject?
They may have, they may have not.
You alright? Yeah, I'm fine.
It's close.
Oh, such keeper right there.
Ooh.
Oh, but now he's got no boost. Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
I don't need boost. I'm on the last lap.
Oh
no.
Damn it.
So yeah, that's kind of like, I mean, they're not all like that. Some of them, I've done. It's strange because, like, in this one specifically, this highlight compilation, I've kind of done a few different like styles as well within the video. Like, I mean, most of them are just like funny, but there's one that I like made kind of sad, and there's one that I made kind of creepy and scary, and there's like really fast-paced ones and really slow ones, and it's a good mix. It's going to be up on their channel. It may go on Crystal Fish's channel as well. So I'll link it in the description, and I'll put it as an end card at the end of this video as well. So if you're interested, please check that out. And if you like it, check out the rest of the channel, and I think you'll just have a lot of fun, really. So yeah, that's the first thing out of the way. So then the second thing I wanted to talk about is, well, last week we got the Crash Bandicoot 4 trailer, and it was flipping amazing. Like, I can't believe how good that trailer was. Like, I mean, regardless of your opinion on how the game looks or how the game plays when it eventually comes out in October, you've got to admit that was a damn good trailer. Like, seriously, that was one of the best video game trailers I think I've ever seen. It was just so well put together. You can tell, like, whoever made that was really proud of that, and they should be, because it was such a good trailer. It was really good. Like, I mean, I'm going to be praising the trailer more than I'm praising the actual game. I mean, I don't know if it is because, like, I edit stuff a lot and I can like appreciate that a bit more, but like, it was just so well put together. Every single thing in that trailer, every single thing was perfectly synced up to the song. And you can think whatever you like on the song. I think it's a good song. Some people hate it, but it was just so perfectly synced up. Like, everything, all the cuts, all the sound effects, like the car horns and like Cortex's laugh, and like the bit with engine on drum. And can I just say, engine on drums, yes, but in terms of the actual game, yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm really, really happy with how it looks so far. And I've heard some people like complain a little bit about the art style, and how, like, they should have just kept it as the same art style they had in Insane Trilogy and Nitro Fueled and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, it's Crash Bandicoot. I mean, Crash Bandicoot is one of the most inconsistent video game series of all time. I mean, every couple of years, the games that come out in its completely different style. I mean, that's just like par for the course, really, with Crash Bandicoot, and that's part of the reason why I love it. Including this new game that will come out in October, It's About Time. That will be, I believe, 14 main, like, console Crash Bandicoot games. I think. Yeah, I think that's about, 14, including, like, spin-offs and the remakes and stuff like that. The main console ones, like, not including stuff on, like, handheld consoles and stuff like that, that's 14 main console Crash Bandicoot games. Do you know how many developers there have been? How many developer studios there have been across those 14 games? 8. There's more than half of 14. There's 8 different developer studios. across 14 games. It's so inconsistent, and I just love it for that fact alone. Despite it looking different, it still looks like Crash. I mean, it looks pretty darn good. Like, Crash looks like Crash, Coco, Cortex, they all look like the characters. They haven't like changed the designs that much. It's just like a slightly different art style, and they all look really good in my opinion. I mean, I think Crash specifically might take a little bit of getting used to, but like Cortex and Coco look great, Engine looks great, and that's pretty much all we've seen of the returning characters. I can't remember who said this. Somebody said something along the lines of this, but this game looks like the kind of game that you always wanted from the series. You know, like after Crash 3. You know, this is like the game that you like. This is what I want Crash Bandicoot to be like. If you would like to design like a fan game, or like just like write down some ideas like in like a notebook or something, like I used to do. I used to like plan out these ideas for video games and stuff like that. Like, this is the kind of game that you'd want, isn't it? The story of Crash 4 is going to continue directly from the end of Crash 3. And I've heard a lot of people saying stuff like, you know, this basically negates everything that came after Crash 3 then, doesn't it? Like, all of that is non-canon now? And I don't necessarily think that's the case. I mean, regardless of whether it's canon or not, those games still exist, and you can't, like, just erase them from existence, obviously. But I think it's gonna, especially considering the whole kind of, like, multi-dimensional whatever stuff they're going for in this game, it does seem like it could fit in the lore. I guess. I mean, it's kind of weird talking about Crash Bandicoot lore, because, you know, you don't play Crash Bandicoot for the lore, do you? You play it for the lovable characters and the fun gameplay and the good platforming and stuff like that. You don't play it for the intricate story details. But regardless of that, there is a story, and, you know, it has evolved across the series, and to basically get rid of like 75% of that would be a stupid move, I think. So I don't necessarily think they're going to do that. My initial thought is that this is going to take place between Crash 3 and Wrath of Cortex, because there is like leeway there. Like, there was no explanation as to how you go from Crash 3 to the beginning of Wrath of Cortex. Did I say Wrath of Cortex before? When I heard the name, It's About Time, I was like, I'm not really thrilled about that name. I mean, like, yeah, it's like a clever pun because it's been so long since the last Crash game, but like, Crash 3 was about time. I mean, are we doing time travel again? And like, even some parts of the trailer is like, we did this in Crash 3, it's like, why are we doing it again? But I do expect it's going to be like more than just like time travel, because I don't want them to just do time travel again, especially if it's literally after the game that was about time travel. I mean, that seems kind of stupid. So I believe that's it for that. So now we will move on to the final thing that I want to discuss. The big thing that you've all been waiting for, you know, as a wise man once said, it's time for the moment you've been waiting for. It's time for me to reveal what the 50,000 subscriber special is going to be. I don't want to big myself up, but like, this is big. This is big stuff here, all right? So be ready. Hang on to your seats. The 50k sub special is going to be the alternate endings to Mashed Bandicoot. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. No, the 3 alternate endings to Mashed Bandicoot. I'm actually going to put them together now. I was never really planning to do that. Like, like, as I was working on Mashed Bandicoot Part 2, it was never intended to have multiple endings. That was like a last minute joke. I just thought, you know, what about if I did like some fake out thing where like you think you can choose a different ending and then you can't because the annotations don't do anything. God, the annotations, God, you can tell how long ago that video was then. But now, there's actually going to be different endings, and now you will actually get to pick which character, which villain of the 3 you want Crash to shoot. And then the story will play out in different ways based on who you shot. I've pretty much got the entire thing planned out from start to finish, every single one. I know exactly what I'm going to do for every single one, so It's not like I'm still thinking of ideas for that. Like basically all the audio is done, and now it's just the visual side of editing, because as you know, I like to do the audio stuff first and then match up the visuals to that, because I'm quirky like that, and I want it to look good. Like I don't want to rush it. Like it's been strange. It's been strange working on this video, because like I've done like sequels to videos where I've like sort of referenced the first one as well. I've done, and I did obviously the remake of Ripto's Racist. But this isn't like that. Like this is literally actually just going back to a previous video and like going back into that universe that I created and just, you know, carrying on from a different point. It's not like creating something completely new, with like all new resources and stuff, just like sort of following on from the first thing. No, this is like literally going back to Mash Bandicoot, going back into that world, and just taking the story and branching it out in a slightly different direction. It's interesting because it's like my editing skills have improved a lot since Mash Bandicoot. But what I don't want to do is like make it feel separate from Mash Bandicoot. Like I don't want it to look like miles better than Mash Bandicoot did. I want it to still feel like it carries on from Mash Bandicoot. Not in the sense that I'm gonna like do the editing a bit sloppier, but like, you know, I want it to still have that kind of sort of like rough charm of Mash Bandicoot, I suppose, in a way. You could watch Mash Bandicoot up until that point and then branch off to one of these endings and it flow naturally, you know? So that's what I'm trying to do, and I think I've done it. I mean, basically what it is that if you shoot one of them, then it's like what happens when the other two are left, you know? It's not like what happens to that villain once they got shot. You know, they got shot, they're killed. You know, that's it. What happens to the other characters who are left? That's the kind of thing I'm going for. That's basically it. I don't want to reveal anything about exactly what's going to happen in the endings, because obviously that's yet to be seen. And, you know, you guys can speculate what you think is going to happen if you want in the comments or something, but, like, ultimately, like, I've got it all planned out, so, you know, it's not going to persuade me to change it in any way, because I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I think you guys are going to really like it. I hope you guys are going to really like it. I'm pretty happy with what I'm planning to do for it, and I've done a bit of it. I've done a bit of the visual editing, so you know what? Since you've watched this far into the video, I will give you a small glimpse. This is probably the first scene of this that I've actually done the visuals for. So yeah, I will put it here. Here you go.
Next question.
Okay.
What does the fox say?
Meow.
Wrong!
You see before you an ocean of dead memes, which I invented.
Hey.
What is that?
Looks like a land without a weenie, kid. So, you like it to go fast, huh? Yeah.
I'ma bet you can't go as fast as me.
It's a safe bet.
Okie dokie then. Let's do this.
You don't honestly expect to beat me, do you?
Mario's very fast. On your mark, get set, go! I can fly for you.
So yeah, that's it. I specifically chose that scene because it doesn't really reveal much about what exactly is going on in the story. Like, you wouldn't even know what ending that is part of, aside from the fact that it's not part of Mario's ending, because... But, I mean, even then, I suppose it could technically be, like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. It could be his ending. It could be he could have survived. You don't know what the Mario Head's deal is. Nobody does. He's a mystery. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm back, and those are the three main things I wanted to talk about. But in the meantime, again, because it's going to be still quite a while, quite a few months before that 50k subspecial is finished. It is kind of going to be the main thing I'm going to be working on now, but like I'm going to go at a bit of a slower pace because that highlight video that I mentioned earlier, that kind of has like taken up basically all my time. Thankfully, I've got a lot of free time now, obviously, but you know, it's basically taken up all my time, and I've been like working on that every single day, like pretty much all day. And so yeah, I don't want to just go straight back into the 50k thing and then work tirelessly on that. You know, I want to like calm down a bit, like be a bit more, work on it a bit more casually. So, you know, in the meantime, there will be more videos on this channel, just more like small, stupid things. I do have a few, like, things I suppose I could put up on the channel. I've got a, don't think I've got any new YouTube poops to work on at the moment, but I've got a couple, music remix things that I may or may not upload. I'm not sure. I think one of them will almost definitely get copyright claimed if I upload it. But if it doesn't get blocked, I might just upload it anyway. And if that's not enough, go and watch the ISGP 2 highlights video that I made. So yeah, I'll put that there, and I'll put that there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon for some more videos. Thanks for all keeping in there and hanging in, and you know,